Hello friends, it's me, Candace. I know you might not have recognized me, my ears look a little bit different. In this video, I'm reviewing two hair dyes from the brand Iroiro, and they are neon blue and deep blue, I believe. And basically, I'm just going to take you through the application, and then I'll come back later today and take my hat off and give you a little unveiling for how it looks when it's rinsed out. But in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Leave any comments for any hair dyes you want me to review, any videos you want to see about hair, piercings, makeup, tattoos. I do pretty much anything that's my hobby, so if you want to see a video from me about literally anything, don't forget to comment down below and I will take that into consideration. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll get right on into the application. So here's the state of my hair. I got lots of green going on. Sorry. I'm gonna look at a mirror I have over here while I dye my hair, because obviously I need to see where I put the dye. Well, since I have two colors at least, so I can make sure that I actually put colors where our colors should go. What? I got a couple towels down underneath me, if you're wondering what's up. And I'm just in front of a mirror here, so sorry about the glare. So let's show you my hair. It's still like a little damp. I would say it's at least 90% dry. So here is the back of my head. Still pretty dark here from the splat slash overtone slash whatever mixture. Even though I did wash a lot with dandruff shampoo, but this part I'm concerned will look a little green. Well, not really concerned, but it may go a little green because it's not completely like platinum. I think I'm gonna start bleaching the front of my hair first, starting next time I bleach my hair, just to sort of like get this to be lighter and to be more true to color of what these are, because now this is yellow and the back of my head is like a lot closer to being platinum because it sat on there longer. So I'm like, dang, I'm not gonna know if this comes up really as true to color as it could, because it's not on the lightest base it could be possibly on. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Basically, I have the Iroiro 340 neon blue and the 45 deep blue. Sorry I don't have a black light to test this UV reactive thing. I'm sure there's videos on the interwebs about that already. So if you want to send me a black light, just literally let me know. I will get a PO box and you can send me stuff. So just let me know if you want to send me a black light, because then I'll test it out for you. But I'm not about to buy a black light. This color, I'm not sure. It looks like, I haven't opened these yet. It looks like it's gonna be quite a bit lighter, but it was hard to tell on the internet when I purchased these, because the pictures for these was a lot of really light colors, but it was also the few photos that they had. They only have like 4 photos. The main photo looks like it was showing the UV reaction, like it looked like it was a photo taken under black light, not like true daylight or anything like that. So that looked weird. And then the photos that weren't like that main swatch photo, they had, most of the pictures had multiple color blues in their hair, like really light blue and really dark blue. So I'm not sure if this is going to be more like coming up more like the color on my cheek or closer to this color, which might be more like the color on my lips. Anyway, if you haven't seen my bleach video where I bleached my roots, be sure to check that out. I told vocally a more complete story about my bleaching fail or bleaching horror story when I went to that salon. I mean, I don't know how riveting it is, but if you like to hear little bleach horror story fail things, go check that video out. And also, let me know if you have any horror stories. Maybe if I get enough people to comment some bleaching horror stories, I can do a video where I read them out. So that would be fun, I think, to read horror stories and like do a little reaction to some people's bleaching hair, horror stories, or fails, or anything. It could be from a salon, you did it yourself, anything, just comment. I don't know, it would be fun, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna get on into it. You may recognize these gloves. These are reusable gloves. And I used it in my piercing, in my septum piercing parody video thing. You can go check that out. So I'm gonna open the lighter one first. This is the Neon Blue UV Reactive. Okay, I'm gonna open this one first. Opening it for you guys. First, I never opened it before, I haven't seen it. It looks pretty dark. I don't know how it'll show up. Yeah, that's not too... Oh, it looks pretty firm though. Maybe that's just the top of it. It looks not too, not too light, but maybe it's just like, maybe it'll show up lighter if it's UV. I honestly hope it shows up this dark, because I don't know if it'll cover the green if it's much lighter. And not that I mind the green, I just would prefer to have the blue hair, because that's what I'm going for. Let's open this 45 Deep Blue. I think this will be a lot darker. Let's see. Oh my god! That was weird. Okay, so let me just scoop up this little nugget. I really didn't expect that to like poop out. So I don't know if you can see sort of this little nugget that popped out of there. That was really bizarre. I was not expecting a nugget to poop out. Hopefully I get like good slow motion reaction. I don't know what my reaction was. But yeah, and here's the comparison of the two colors. This one definitely is a lot darker, but I think this might be a good combination. Like, I think this might be dark enough that I think it'll go really well. I can't even describe the smell. It almost smells like any other direct dye. Like, I can't explain it. It smells really good. Okay, I'm gonna start with the light one. I'm just gonna grab pieces and go. I want to put a lot of the light on the top, but then once I get towards the back, I think the whole underside I might do with the dark one, since the hair's dark there anyway, and I want to make sure it covers pretty well. I don't know. Oh, I'm scared it's gonna poop out. Oh yeah, this one is a lot brighter than the other one. Okay, maybe I should have sectioned it out first. Got a comb thing. Doesn't really matter too much. It's all gonna end up blue anyway. Oh, fine. I'll squirt it out into this bowl. I'll do one. It's pretty thick, so I'll do one color on one side, then one color on the other, because I only have one bowl. So these are the two colors next to each other. You can probably see it a lot better. They're really thick. And yeah, I got the second brush. And I don't really care if they mix too much. Okay, this is gonna be fun. I got a new piercing recently, just after I dyed my hair last time. And I haven't, for the life of me, been able to get back to the piercer at all. It like had a catastrophe where it swelled up, and I was completely unable to go anywhere because it's appointment only, and I'm not sure if they take people, like, if they're having a crisis. I'm sure they must if someone's having like a really bad time with their piercing, but it swelled up so much and I had to put a belly ring in my flat piercing in my ear, which was super uncomfortable because it was like it was like a old belly button ring, so it was just like hanging, and oh my god, it was just terrible. It was like hanging at the back of my ear and it was like heavy. But so I wasn't able to make an appointment, and then I did, but then it settled down enough for me to get the shorter bar back in. So then obviously I put the shorter bar back in, and it was too soon for a downsize because it was even like less than 6 weeks old, or like it was only 5 weeks old or something like that. So I was like, okay, I'll cancel the appointment that I made because I don't have a belly ring in my ear anymore. And then I made a new appointment for the 8th of April, which was exactly 2 months later, because they've been pretty booked up. I feel like by the time that date rolled around, then I got Kanona. I got the Kanona. Look how orange this is. This is not gonna look very good. Anyway, I got the Kanona, so I had to cancel that appointment too. And then obviously I wasn't really that concerned with booking an appointment to get my piercing like checked up on because I was sick. And then once I did, now my appointment isn't until May 7th, which is 3 months after I got the piercing. So I'm like, this sucks. And while I was sick, I think, because when I'm sick, obviously when you're sick and you have piercings, things get like weepier and like more irritated easily. So basically my piercing got irritated again and swelled up again, and I had to put a belly ring back in it, which probably changing it all the time isn't good, but I'm still like such a control freak, and I was just like, it's swelling. And it really was swelling too much for the bar that I had. So that's the longest 14 gauge ring that I had, like that. Ugh. And then when I was cleaning my room, I found an old barbell. I found an old 14 gauge straight barbell that's a 1/2 inch long. And I was like, thank goodness, a straight barbell. I don't have to leave a belly ring in my ear. So that's what I have in my ear right now. It's like this little ball here. And it's so much longer than my ear, but I'm glad it's a straight barbell because it's not like causing more irritation by being a curved, like really heavy, hangy belly button jewelry in my flat. So that's what I've been going through. Luckily, I didn't get sick worse. This is my main health concern right now, so things could be worse, but it is annoying anyway, regardless. These, you can hardly tell the difference once they're on the hair. Okay, so my camera turned off. So I finished up a couple more layers of that little pattern of light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. I don't know how many I did. But I ended on light there. And I think I got a little blue on my face. Let me know down below. Do I have blue on my face? So now I'm gonna do the sides to the same part, I guess. Just doing the same pattern. And I'll just hope that the light color covers the green, and if it doesn't, I'll just re-dye it later. The thing I will say is this is super duper thick, and you have to use a lot to coat the hair. Like, maybe not too much. It just feels like a lot since it's so thick. feel like I'm putting too much of this on because it's so thick, but it's hard to spread it out. Like, I don't know. And then it gets this white frothiness, and I feel like this frothy layer stuff doesn't die when you spread it out, so then, I don't know, I feel like whenever you do direct dyes, I feel like it stains wherever you put it down initially. And I feel like the frothiness that happens, like, see how light that gets? I feel like it doesn't, like, have as much dye molecules, but maybe it just, maybe it does, and maybe it just has air bubbles in it. I really just wish the company's special effects was still open. Oh wait, I don't think I clapped. There was a hair dye company, tell me if you heard of it before. It was called Special Effects, and they had the best hair color because it was so rich and it stayed in your hair. It didn't like wash out like quickly at all. Oh, I love that. Oh, I got a story. I said in my folding laundry video that I was a cashier. Not sure if I said it in any other video. Anyway, while I was a cashier, there was this HR manager. She's actually the HR manager that hired me, and I doubt she'd ever watch this. Anyway, that would be hilarious if she did. But she was really sassy, to say the least. She was very, like, she would get on people's nerves, but I always, like, followed the rules. I never wanted to test anything. Like, I'm just oh, there's rules? Okay, that's the rules. I'm abiding by the rules. Like, that's always been who I am. So there's no rules about hair color. The only rules that they have at the store is that you have to be neat and like you have to look clean. So I can't show up with hair I haven't washed in like 2 weeks. Well, maybe I could. It would have to be up and I'd have to be not smelly. Like, you shouldn't be able to like tell that I'm like not washing my hair type of thing. Like, I have to be clean and neat, basically, like what you would expect. I hope all your grocery store workers look clean and like they shower and stuff. But anyway, I always did that. And it was, I think before I would wear my hair up frequently, but I was always like groomed, like I was always clean, like I had dry shampoo in my hair or something. But this is when I started dyeing my hair, like bleaching my hair to do a lot of different colors. I started, like, once I found out you could dye your hair, I just did. Just cause, like, you know, you always go back to dyeing your hair bright colors. If you've done it, you've done it. But so I would, I showed up to work, I had mint hair, okay? I wanted mint hair. But when I bleached my hair at home, like, I bleached the whole of my hair at home, and similar to how it is now, it wasn't like, I couldn't get it platinum at home because my hair is so dark. And like, I was going through like emotional times, so I bleached my hair and I only wanted the tips, and then I was like, I don't want it to break off, and then I just slapped on bleach like willy-nilly. So like my hair was like, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't light enough. It was not light enough for mint hair. Or maybe the dye I used wasn't that amazing. I think I used the Ion hair dye. They have it at Sally's, I think. I think it was the Ion. But anyway, I think my hair wasn't light enough to like sustain that color, and maybe I didn't have enough. Like, I think maybe I only bought like 1 or 2 tubes, and maybe I needed like 2 or 3 tubes. of the dye, so I didn't have enough to like fully coat my hair, and I think my hair wasn't like platinum enough underneath that to sustain such a light and pale color like mint, which is, to be like, fair. Very fair. But so I remember, oh my gosh, it was mortifying. I was in the express lane and I'm like, my hair's washed and my hair, it's like a little uneven, but like, what's the big deal? My hair is just hair. If I'm allowed to have it dyed a color, why can't I have it dyed and just be a little bit streaky, or like, I don't know, like, because if I have this color and it fades, it's gonna look streaky and weird anyway, huh? That wouldn't, like, I don't know. And other people, okay, so I was at the fast lane, and then this HR manager comes up to me, like, it's the end of my shift too, so I'm like, I had a decent day. I never liked the fast lane because it always gave me anxiety, because there would be like a lot of human interaction, and there would be like a lot of people in very quick succession. There was always a line. Oh my god, I hated the fast lane. Like, it gave me so much anxiety. But like, it wasn't a bad day. Like, I was feeling good about the day. Like, this was when I first like made a friend, because I never had friends before, and like, I was feeling good. Like, I don't know, like, not this specific day, but like I'm like positive. Like, this is okay. Now I can't see my back of my head. I want to stay in this mirror. It's the whole point of me sitting over here, so I can see. So, oh my god, I'm scared I'm gonna get blue all over the floor. So she comes up. I don't know what to do. She goes up to me and then she goes, "We don't care what color your hair is. It just, oh my gosh, why is this leaking?" My hair was not that wet. You saw the top was completely dry. It was the back that was a little damp. Is it like breaking down or something? That's bizarre. Anyway, she was just like, "I don't care what color," not her. Okay. She said, "We don't care." Make sure I look okay. It's like wet. She said, "We don't care what color your hair is. It just all has to be one color." And that's what she said. She didn't say, "Oh, it looks a little bit patchy, like you don't look put together." First of all, I was at the cash register. Like, if you have a problem with me, probably pull me into your office and don't tell me, like, on the floor in front of customers and stuff. And then, like, who is we? Like, who are you talking about? All the managers are just talking about how crappy I look because my hair is not all one color. And I'm like, I had just dyed it. And I knew it looked bad. Because, like, obviously I have eyeballs. It was patchy. Like, I knew it looked bad. And I was gonna go get more dye to dye it to look better. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I can see, oh, it's patchy, it doesn't look good. Like, I don't live my life to try to look like a hideous, like, person with patchy hair on purpose. But so she said, "Oh, we don't care what color you have. It just all has to be one color." And then I left the store that day. Like, I was like, I had a decent day that day, and I was like happy. And then she ruined my whole day. Because she made it wasn't even like I was being disciplined. She just like made a rude comment, and I'm just like, come on. I'm trying to like just work and show up. And there's literally no rules about what hair color you can have at this place. So she said that, and I'm just like, oh my god. like, I was pissed when I got in the car. Like, I was like so mad. I was like crying. Like, I don't know if anyone else gets so mad that they cry. Because obviously I was like, okay, to her. Because I don't like speak up about anything. But I'm just like, I was like, oh, okay, like I suck. Like, it was so rude. And I guess that's like all of the dramatics that happened. Like, this isn't like the longest story of the world. But I'm just like, there's literally no rules. And then I'm thinking, what about when someone dyes their hair and their roots show? And then they have like roots. Are you gonna tell them their hair needs to be one color? What about people with highlights? What about people with like ombre? And plenty of people had like different hair colors like that. Why are you telling me we don't care what color your hair is, but it just all has to be one color? Where in the rules does it say your hair has to be one color? There's no rule. So like, she literally just said that to be rude. Like, that's all it was rude, because it wasn't like, she can't get me in trouble, and it was a union job. Like, you can't do anything to me because my hair looks blotchy. What can you do? I'm neat, I'm tidy. Or like, she didn't say, oh, like customers are complaining. Like, as far as I know, I never had a customer complaint like to management where I needed to be pulled aside, because I was never pulled aside for a customer complaint. And I'm just like, this is rude. I can't even see the back of my head. I was like, that is like so rude. And obviously, like, it was, my hair was so streaky and gross and whatever. Like, I was literally dyeing my hair probably like the same day or the next day, probably before my next shift, because it was so bad. But like, I dyed my hair and it looked bad, but I had to go to work. Like, what'd she want me to do, call out? Like, I never even once called out of that place until my last day. Because I wanted to go to Chicago, so that's, but I was sick officially, so yeah. But I don't care. I was just like, I don't want to get hired back at this place anyway. They never did anything for me. Now I'm just bad mouthing places that I worked before. Listen, I'm not making money on YouTube yet. I didn't realize my camera turned off. I don't think I was in the middle of anything, no. Anyway, I've moved on to the back of my hair, but I'm just gonna go vertically, because doing horizontal all the way back seems very pointless. What's the like rudest thing an HR manager ever said to you? I don't know where I got cut off, so I'm just gonna say this. I've already said this. What's the rudest thing an HR manager ever said to you, and was it rightfully so? Because I think anything rude an HR manager ever said to me was not rightfully so. That HR manager was so rude too. Like, I remember I got promoted to manager of a department, but like, I wasn't like the full-on manager yet. I was like in training technically. Okay, I think it went away. But so like, I would be there when she was in. It's not like I was like working later than her. Okay, do you see this liquid coming out? What is that? Like, all I have is this dye in my hair. My arm is like freaking so wet from that. Why is it leaking like that? I never did anything. Okay, it's not like I was like working like a much later shift and then she needed someone to relay a message to me. Like, I saw her frequently. But so like, since I was a department manager and I would be closing the department, you would think that if you have to close up, oh my god, this is wet. You would think that if you have to close up something in your department, especially when it comes to like the till, which is the money, so I had to like make sure that was right or whatever. You would think that your manager would want you to stay to make sure things got done properly. But she had the other like manager in training for the department. She had the other manager tell me not to stay late. I'm like, you think I wanted to stay late? Like, you want me to just leave the till in the back, like a back of the store? Like I have to finish my job. Like, if a customer shows up late, I gotta help them. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm just supposed to leave? No, I gotta clock out now. I can't stay later. Freaking ridiculous. Like, how come she had that other manager person tell me that? Like, I know to stay only to my shift. I don't want to stay later. But I also know that I have a job to do, and I shouldn't probably just leave without my job being done. You know, like, I shouldn't like leave my job for other people to finish or just not done at all. Just freaking stupid. And then also, why couldn't she just ask me herself? That irritated me. She was nice, and like, I never had any problems with her, because like, I don't usually have problems with people of authority. Because usually, like, I don't try to test authority. I just do whatever is expected of me, usually. And I have this, like, huge chunk in the back. Keeps dripping. I guess I'll dye it this way, because why not? Just finish mixing this so it's all one color at least. Too much on the brush. Ugh, look at this freaking drip on my face. Oh no, my blue wiping off. No, discover me. I got blue on my earrings. I hope it doesn't stain. Well, I think these front parts are really saturated because the ends aren't like super long, but I do still see the green through it, so hopefully it covers it enough to actually look blue. I don't mind if it's like a little bit green, but I do want it to actually end up being blue. Anyway, this is it. It's super wet, so I don't know that I'll actually need like something to keep it from not drying out. I think I put way too much on. I only have like a small amount left. I have a little bit more of the lighter color left. Well, I'm gonna go rinse these and my gloves and my arms, and we'll see how much it stains. But anyway, I'll send you back to Cadence of the Future with the results of this. So this is how the hair turned out. Now, when I initially washed it out, I just rinsed it. I don't like to use cold water, but I did use just regular warmish water instead of the regular like hotter water I normally shower with, just since it was the first try. I didn't want to rinse out too much color because I wasn't going to be able to film this clip that night because I was exhausted. But anyway, after I finished recording the previous section of the video, I rinsed my hair out with warm water just to get all of the dye out. Basically, I didn't want to leave any. Usually I use soap on the initial rinse out just because, shampoo, just because I don't like to have the residue on my hair. I like to start getting it because usually it'll stain your scalp. I like to start getting that off. But I was worried since I wasn't going to be able to film this shot that night. I knew it was going to be a few days before I filmed it. So it has been a few days since I have dyed my hair. And just earlier today, I took a shower and I used shampoo on the hair. I usually think that direct dyes really settle into their color after 1 or 2 shampoos, especially darker colors. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe that's just the dyes that I've used. Usually I end up getting dyes that are a little bit darker. But this one looked bright right away, even without shampooing it the first try. I will say, when shampooing today, getting my hair wet, it wasn't leaking. Probably a little bit, but it wasn't like, for instance, splat. The second it gets wet, it'll start leaking dye everywhere. But this one isn't like that. It's not quite as staining as splat or something like that. It's a little bit, I think I still have stains on my arms. All I can see is the line from the ring light. I still have a couple stains from my arms. Not much. It rinsed off pretty well in the shower. Not like I tried to scrub it off. I usually don't care at all. But it didn't really stain. The dripping on my forehead stained like maybe a little bit, but that's just because I didn't want to stay in the shower for too long and I didn't care. But it didn't like stain the edges of my hair too bad. Like, it always looks crazy the day after you dye your hair, like the edges of your hair. But I think it really faded nicely this first wash. Now, I think it's pretty pigmented. I think it covered, for the most part, it covered most of the green. Some of the light color didn't cover quite as well, but I obviously expected that. And I think the colors go really well together. You can see here I have some darkness. I think that's when I mixed the 2 colors together at the end, and then I wanted to make sure my hairline was still damp, but my hairline was all the light color. So when I did that, I made this blotchy mess. But it looks fine over here, but of course the side that is my parting side, it has to be out. But you can tell that the light color blue is very clearly lighter than this darker blue. I don't know if you can really see them together here. This one's lighter. Like, you can probably tell if one's lighter or darker. And then, like, I just like how it sort of turned out. I have like a little bit of highlighting. If I had more skill or more time, I probably would have done a little bit more highlighting. I probably would have used 2 separate bowls so that they weren't going to mix at the end, but they really go well together. The colors really blend beautifully. They're the same exact kind of tone. It's not like one's purpley and one's, what's another tone for blue? One's not like way purplier, like for instance, these are the only 2 sort of blue eyeshadows I have that are just a flat color. But I feel like they don't really go well together because this one is a bright sort of electric blue, but then this one pulls very purple. I feel like if this was a little bit more of a royal blue, it would go better. Like, they would be more of a similar tone, but since this is so purple, I'm sure they go well together as eyeshadows. But I don't know if you get what I'm saying is, one's not like more purple than the other. They go extremely well together. Like, this light color I feel like could be a faded version of this darker color. That's basically what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say anyway, so I hope that's coming across all right. But anyway, so I really, really love the tone of this. It's not like a ballpoint pen kind of blue like what I tend to have, but I think this is just straight up blue. There's no question. Maybe after a couple more washes, it'll fade to be a little bit more green. Either way, I really love how it turned out. I feel like it covered, even the darker bits covered really beautifully. The colors go really well together. I wish I had a black light to show you guys and just to see for myself how the black light looks. But unfortunately, I don't have a black light, so we're not going to be able to experience that. I'll show you the back of my hair. This is sort of how it looks. Basically, I love how it turned out. Hopefully no one's gonna call me, I don't really talk to people anymore. When I worked at the post office, some of the carriers would reference to me as if I had purple hair, and I'm just like, urgh. Even when I worked at ShopRite and I had blue hair, people would be like, oh, you have the purple hair, and it's like, no, it's blue. But I feel like this is very clearly blue. Maybe my sister even said mermaidy, which I guess so. Anyway, I really hope this color lasts a long time in my hair. And if it does, I'm gonna repurchase it unless you guys specifically want me to review anything else. I guess I could give it a try if they have a color similar to this, or if I convince myself to change my color up a little bit, like maybe a little bit of green highlights or purpley highlights or something, but we'll see how that happens. Either way, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, and I love you. See you in the next one. Bye.